This is a true life story. Mr. Abel was a 43-year-old man living in Enugu City with his wife, Mrs. Amaka, their 2 young children, Chioma, 6, and Chika, 4, and also Ife, the 11-year-old daughter of Amaka's late sister. Abel had a decent job that provided his family with a comfortable life, while Amaka was a full-time housewife. For years, their home was filled with peace and laughter, until one day, Amaka's friend, who had just relocated to the United Kingdom, told her about the many opportunities waiting for women abroad. From that day, Amaka's mind was set on moving her family out of Nigeria. At first, Abel resisted. He argued that they were living comfortably, and he saw no need to abandon everything they had built. But Amaka kept pressing him. Day after day, she insisted that their future would be brighter in the UK. Eventually, Abel gave in. He reminded her that such a journey required a huge sum of money, but Amaka urged him to find a way. Out of love and sacrifice, Abel borrowed 20 million naira from Alhaji Musa, a well-known businessman, and processed the visas for his wife, their children, and young Ife. Since Amaka was a graduate, she became the main applicant, while Abel was listed as her dependent. When the visas were approved, the family celebrated joyfully. They sold their land, their cars, and almost every valuable possession, all with the hope of starting a new life in the UK. At first, life in England seemed promising. But after only a few months, things began to change. Amaka's attitude toward Abel shifted. She no longer cared for him the way she once did. She became distant, picking quarrels over little things, and eventually began seeing another man. One day, Abel came home to a painful reality. Amaka wanted the marriage to end. Not only that, she reported him to the immigration authorities, declaring that she no longer wished for him to remain in the UK under her sponsorship. The news shattered Abel. Immigration officers soon contacted him, instructing him to prepare for deportation. In tears, Abel confronted his wife. He reminded her of the sacrifices he had made, the huge debt he took on, the properties they sold, and the fact that he gave up everything just to fulfill her dream. But Amaka was unmoved. She told him coldly that the debt was his burden to carry, and she no longer cared. Devastated, Abel left the house. He cried bitterly, regretting the day he had agreed to relocate. But as he thought of all the pain and betrayal, he decided to take a step of his own. He called his lawyer and revealed that Ife, the 11-year-old girl, was not his biological daughter, though his wife had claimed otherwise when processing their visas. The matter was reported to immigration, who quickly summoned Amaka. She insisted Ife was Abel's child, but authorities ordered a DNA test. On hearing this, Amaka tried to leave Manchester quietly, but she was stopped by border officials and placed under watch until the case was resolved. When the test results arrived, Abel's words proved true. The authorities ruled that Ife had been brought to the UK under false pretenses. As a result, the entire family, including Amaka and the children, were deported back to Nigeria. Back home, the reality was heartbreaking. They had sold their properties, lost their savings, and still owed Alhaji Musa a fortune. Their dreams of a better life had turned into ashes. This story is a reminder: never allow pressure or sweet promises to push you into decisions that may destroy what you have already built. Sometimes, the life you think is ordinary is far better than the uncertainty that lies abroad. But the question remains, after all this betrayal and heartbreak, should Abel forgive Amaka and continue the marriage, or was his decision to expose her too harsh? Sparkles, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more real-life stories filled with lessons.